Okay, so today we're going to look at radical equations. So where we have a radical, okay? So this one is going to be kind of opposite of the when you're doing the square root property or the whatever property. So here we've got a radical already and we want to get rid of the radical. We want to get whatever's under here out of it. And to get rid of this cube root, what we're going to do is cube both sides. Okay, but before we do that, cube roots, remember, can equal negative numbers, but square roots can't equal negative numbers. So if it's an odd index, it can be negative, right? If it's an even index, it can't. Okay. Good deal. Alright, so let's do this one. This is the cube root. So something, so x plus 12, the cube root of that has to be equal to negative 5. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to cube both sides like this. Okay, so when you cube the cube root, that's going to go away and you're going to be left with x plus 12. Negative 5 cubed is going to be a negative 125. And then we're going to subtract 12 on both sides. So x is going to be equal to a negative 137. Let's check it. So negative 137 plus a 12, whoops, sorry, plus a 12 is going to be a negative 125. And the cube root of negative 125 is a negative 3. Okay. Alright, let's look here. So this one I need to get the radical by itself. So I'm going to have the square root of 2x minus 1 is equal to x. When I move that, I got to move this to the other side. So it's going to be x minus 2. So I'm going to raise it to the power here. So I am going to square both sides here. So I'm going to have a 2x minus a 1 when I take that square root of the, when I take the square of the square root, it's just going to be a 2x minus a 1. And then x minus 2 squared is going to be x squared minus a 4x plus a 4 when I multiply it out. So this is going to be a quadratic. So I'm going to get everything equal to a 0. So I'm going to get x squared minus a 6x plus a 5 here. Okay, so what multiplies together to give you 5 and adds together to give you a negative 6. So what's that? X minus 5 times x minus 1. So x minus 5 equals 0 and x minus 1 equals 0. So x is going to be equal to 5 and x is going to be equal to a 1. Check your solutions. Okay, so we always want to check our solutions. So we'll have 2 plus the square root. 2 times 5 minus a 1. Is that going to be equal to 5? And then the same thing over here. Alright, let's see. So this is going to be 2. That's going to be 10 minus 1, which is a 9. So that's square root of a 9, which is a 3. And 2 plus 3 is a 5. So that is true. And let's check the 1 here. So 2, that's a 1. So the square root of 2 times square root of 1 is a 1. And 2 plus 1 is a 3. So that is not. So 1 here is not a solution. Okay. What about this one? Okay, so let's remember. Okay, this is going to be, right, this is going to be x minus 4, okay, squared, the 7th root of all of that. Okay, so what can I do to both sides first? Get a pen. So this is a square, so So before we get started, remember all of this is the same. Like if I wrote it like that, it's the same way. So to get rid of that square, I could take the square root of both sides, right? So this is going to be the 7th root of x minus 4. If I take the square root of 25, it's going to be plus or minus a 5. So that means I'm going to have the 7th root of x minus 4 is equal to 5, and the 7th root of x minus 4 is equal to a negative 5. And is that okay? So 7's an odd, so it can be equal to a negative, and it can be equal to that positive. So same thing, I am going to now raise both sides to the 7th power. Okay. My brain is not helping here, so this is going to be x minus 4 to the 7, 8, 1, 2, 5. X minus 4 is going to be a negative 7, 8, 1, 2, 5. Ooh, that's big. So x is going to be equal to 7, 8, 1, 2, 9. X is going to be equal to negative 7, 8, 1, 2, 1. Or basically, you could write it like this, as 5 to the 7th plus a 4, and a negative 5 to the 7th minus plus a 4, sorry, like that. Since if we don't use a calculator, we can just leave them like that. Okay. Good deal. So let's check it. So let's put that in there. So 5 to the 7th plus a 4 minus a 4 raised to the, like this. So that's going to go away. So this is going to be 5 to the 7th to the 7th power. Phew. So this is going to be a 5 squared, which is 25. Now what about this one? So negative 5 to the 7th plus a 4 minus a 4, all of that raised to the 2/7. Does that equal 25? So this will be a negative 5 to the 7th power. So this will be a negative 5 squared, which is a 25. So both of those solutions are true. Alright, here's a harder one. Here is a hard one, where you've got 2 radicals. Alright, we want to isolate one of our radicals. Doesn't matter which one, so I'm just going to isolate this one. So isolate radical. You're going to have to do it twice here. Okay, so when I isolate the radical, then I am going to raise each power to the index, right? So raise each side to the index. So this will be a 2x plus a 7. And then here I'm going to square this one. So this is going to be 3 plus square roots of x minus 5 times 3 plus square roots of x minus a 5. So 3 times 3 is a 9. So this will be a 6 square roots of x minus a 5. And then when you multiply those together, you're just going to be left with what's underneath there. Right, so now I want to get the radical by itself again. So 9 minus 5, so that's a 4. This is plus an x plus a 6, square roots of x minus a 5. Alright, move the x over, so that's going to be an x. Move the 4 over, so that's going to be a minus, so that'll be a plus a 3. I'm going to divide both sides by 6. So I'm going to have x plus 3 over 6 is equal to the square root of x minus 5. So now I'm going to square both sides here. So this will be x squared plus a 6x plus a 9 all over 36, like this. Okay, so this is going to be x squared plus a 6x plus a 9, and then I'm just going to multiply this, so 36 x minus a 5, so like that. And then this is going to be minus a 30 plus a 189. So it multiplies to be a positive and adds together to be a negative. So that's what? X minus 21 and x minus a 9. 21 times 9 is a 189. 21 plus 9 is 3. So x is going to be 21 and x is going to be a 9. Whew, Lordy, B. So let's check our answers. So let's check 21. So 2 times 21 plus 7 minus 21 minus 5. Does that give you 3? And the other one is 2 times 9 plus 7 minus 9 minus 5. Does that give you 3? Alright, so what's that? 42 plus a 7? Is that right? 49. So that's square root of 49. Is a 7. 21 minus a 5, which is a what, 16? Is a 4, and so that is a 3, right? About here, 18. So square root of 25, square root of 4. Right? So that's 5 minus 2, and that gives you 3 as well. So both the solutions work, thank goodness. Whew. Well, I want to throw one of those out. Alright, so that's radical solution. So you want to isolate the radical, so that's important. So isolate the radical first. Make sure that if it's a even index, that it's equal to a positive. If it's an odd index, it can be equal to a negative. Okay? And then you're going to raise each side to whatever the index is, and then you're going to solve, and then check. Alright, let me know if you have any questions.